Gauranga Nitai.
Jai Shri Guru Gurangandar Giridhari Radha Vinod Bihari Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Shri Om Vishnupada Shtotra Shata Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Padmanabha Swami Maharaj Shila Guru Padmanabha Swami Maharaj Shila Gurudev Ki Jai. Нити Лила Прайшнава Вишнупада Штотра Шата Шри Сримад Ачи Бхактивиданта Свами Махарадж Шила Прабхупада Ки Джай. Нити Лила Прайшнава Ом Вишнупада Штотра Шата Шри Сримад Бхакти Ракшак Шиктарга Свами Махарадж Ки Джай. Нити Лила Прайшнава Вишнупада Штотра Шата Шри Сримад Бхактивиданта Нараяна Госвами Махарадж Ки Джай. Нити Лила Прайшнава Вишнупада Штотра Шата Шри Сримад Бхакти Прагьяна Кешава Госвами Махарадж Ки Джай. Нити Лила Прайшнава Вишнупада Штотра Шата Шри Сримад Бхакти Сиддханта Сарасвати Такур Джагадгуру Парамхамса Куласвами Шрила Прабхупада Ки Джай. Махабхагават Ки Шрила Гаур Кишорадас Бхаджи Госвами Махарадж Ки Джай. Саптами Госвами Сачинана Шрила Бхактивинод Такур Ки Джай. Парамхамса Вашнава Сарубамуха Шрила Джаганатха Дас Бабаджи Госвами Махарадж Ки Джай. Шри Рупануга Гуру Варга Ки Джай. Шри Рупануга Гуру Парампара Ки Джай. Шри Гаудачарья Шрила Балдева Дябушина Ки Джай. Шри Вишнава Чакравати Такур Ки Джай. Шри Наротама Шиниваса Шримананда Прабхутрая Ки Джай. Шрила Кришнадатска Вирадж Госвами Пад Ки Джай. Шри Рупа Санатана Бхата Рагунатха Шиджива Гопала Бхата Даса Рагунатха Шадасвами Прабхутрая Ки Джай. Шри Сварупа Дамадаря Рая Рамананда Шри Горам Шадавринда Ки Джай. Намачари Шрила Харидас Такур Ки Джай. Шри Риндавандас Такур Ки Джай. Према Сикаку Шри Кришна Чайтанья Прабху Нитянанда Шри Адвайта Гададхара Шриваса Дигора Бхакта Вринда Ки Джай. Джай Шри Рада Кришна Рада Гокула Нандана Рада Шрима Сундар Рада Рамана Рада Гопинат Рада Мадмохан Рада Мадан Гопал Рада Говинда Рада Лалита Мадва Гандарви Гирихари Гора Рада Винод Вихари Ки Джай. Джай Шри Рада Кришна Гопа Гопи Гогаврандвада Шинаванатмка Шри Враджа Мандала Ки Джай. Шьяма Конда Рада Конда Ямуна Ганга Туласи Бхакти Деви Ки Джай. Шри Лалита Вишака Адишта Сака Вринда Ки Джай. Шри Рупа Манджари Рати Манджари Ананга Манджари Адишта Сака Вринда Ки Джай. Шри Вринда Деви Ки Джай. Шри Югамая Парнамаси Деви Ки Джай. Шри Югамая Праудха Деви Ки Джай. Шри Навадвип Дхама Ки Джай. Шри Джаганата Пури Дхама Ки Джай. Шри Вриндаван Дхам Ки Джай. Сарвам Бишна Прадата Шри Гири Раджа Гавардхан Махарадж Ки Джай. Шри Гопишвара Махадев Ки Джай. Шри Джаганатха Баладева Субхадура Сударшана Чакра Ки Джай. Сарва Вигна Винашана Шри Нисимха Бхагаван Ки Джай. Бхакта Вара Шри Прахлада Махарадж Ки Джай. Гранхарадж Шримад Бхагаватам Ки Джай. Чарудама Чаря Чаря Чая Сам Парадай Вринда Ки Джай. Карамат Харадж Шри Четаня Мат Ки Джай. Шри Кешава Гауни Мат Ки Джай. Шри Рупа Санатана Гауни Мат Ки Джай. Шри Гиридхари Гауни Мат Ки Джай. Шри Четаня Сарасвати Гауни Мат Ки Джай. Шри Четаня Гауни Мат Ки Джай. Шри Четаня Миссия Гауни Мат Ки Джай. Шри Гопинат Гауни Мат Ки Джай. Шри Гаудинат Самити Ки Джай. Шри Харинама Санкиртна Ки Джай. Харинама Прабху Ки Джай. Махаманта Хари Кришна Ки Джай. Баладев Прабху Ки Джай. Кришна Баларам Ки Джай. Шри Бхакти Деви Ки Джай. Ананта Коми Вашнава Вринда Ки Джай. Самагда Бхакта Вринда Ки Джай. Нитай Гуру Примананде Хари Хари Бо.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Shri Advaita Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Girivaradhari. Jaya Yashodanandana, Jaya Braja Jana Ranjana, Jaya Braja Jana Ranjana. Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari, Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jaya Yamuna Tiravanachari, Jaya Rasa Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari. Radha Madhava, Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Turn off that tube light. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Nitai, Jaya Gaur, Jaya Nitai, Jaya Gaur. Jaya Nitai, Jaya Gaur, Jaya Nitai, Jaya Gaur. Nitai Gaur Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Nitai Gaur Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Gurudev. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Nitai Gaur Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo. Jai Shri Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bo. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikayai Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Bande Shri Gurun Dinataranam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahabhajanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gaura Tishe Namaha Nityanandam Namastubhyam Prem Ananda Pradayane Kalo Kalmashanashaya Janava Pataye Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Sarupakam Bhakta Avataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostude Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vrindai Tulsi Debai Priyaye Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavachai Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. First, I'm offering my unlimited Dandavat Pranams and my Shraddha Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of my most worshipable, beloved Gurudev, Nitya Leela Pravishta, Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Asto Tarashata, Sri Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. And then I'm offering my same unlimited Dandavat Pranams and my Shraddha Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of my most worshipable, beloved Siksha Gurudevs Nitya Leela Pravishta, Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Astatarasata Sri Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj and Nitya Leela Pravishta Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Astatarasata Sri Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. I offer my Dandavat Pranams to all of my Sri Sri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga. And I offer my Dandavat Pranams to all of the Vaishnavas and all the Vaishnavis who are tuning in online also. And to hear on this most auspicious day, which is the Disappearance Day of the great associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that is Sri Rāmānanda Rāya. So today we are going to discuss Sri Rāmānanda Rāya and also his conversation with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is a very in-depth and very lengthy subject matter, which is narrated in the 8th chapter of the Madhya Leela of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and certainly we cannot cover that whole topic today in this class, but we're going to read what Gurudev has told in his introduction to that subject matter in his lecture that he gave in Hawaii. I think it was in the year 2000. He gave his lecture in Hawaii. So I'm offering my unlimited Dandavat Pranams at the lotus feet of Sri Sri Rāmānanda Rāya, who is none other than the eternal beloved associate of Sri Radha and Krishna in Braj, in the form of Sri Vishaka Devi. So how exalted we cannot even imagine Rāmānanda Rāya, who appeared in this material world to assist the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but especially which pastimes did he come to assist? he came to assist the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself, and who is now going to attempt to dive deep into the infinite, unlimited ocean of Srimati Radhika's Unnata Ujjvala Prem, the highest Prem. So that is a very exalted subject matter, this topic of Rāmānanda Roy Samvad, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had this conversation with Sri Rāmānanda Roy on the banks of the Godavari after he had left Jagannath Puri and he was beginning his journey to go towards South India, which he did continue for about 2 years. He continued that journey to all around South India, but in the very beginning he met with Rāmānanda Roy. And so Rāmānanda Roy is also the associate with whom Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spent his final years on this planet in Jagannath Puri, relishing and tasting all these highest moods in the association of two particular persons. Two particular associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were there with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the Gambhira, and all throughout his final years, at least the last 18 years of his pastimes on this earth, and especially his final 12 years, which his pastimes were going deeper and deeper and deeper, and he was not in external consciousness most of the time. So who is with him? Rāmānanda Roy and Swarup Damodar Goswami. And who are those two personalities in Krishna Lila? They are none other than Lalita Devi and Vishaka Devi. Amongst the Ashtashakis, the 8 principal gopis, they are the 2 most intimate associates of Srimati Radhika. So those 2 personalities appeared in Chaitanya Lila as Rāmānanda Roy, that is Vishaka Devi, and as Swarup Damodar Goswami, who is Lalita Devi. So now we're going to hear from Srila Gurudev in his lecture. Now, this was posted in May of 2000. And it's Srila Gurudev's lecture in Maui, in Hawaii, on May 24th, 2000. So, Srila Roy Ramananda's discussions, this is an introduction, his discussions with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as described in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, they are eternally fresh and ever increasingly nourishing for us. This is a note before the beginning of this, which is probably written by Srimati Shamarani Didi, where she's putting into perspective this lecture given by Gurudev in Hawaii. So she's saying that during Srila Gurudev's 14 years of World Harikatha festivals, this discussion was one of his favorite topics, to benedict us lost souls of this world. So the following is a transcription of his extremely interesting lecture given in Maui, in Hawaii, on May 24th, 2000, wherein he talks about the first part of their discussion. So one thing I want to mention also is that this Roy Ramananda Samvad, as Gurudev does say, this is recognized amongst all the Vaishnavas as being one of the top pinnacles of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is the top pinnacle of all the literatures describing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes. So this Rāmānanda Roy Samvad, this discussion between Mahaprabhu and Rāmānanda Roy, goes into the areas of the topmost subject matters that are discussed in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. And it's very, very interesting, so much so, and so much essential, that our Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, when he came to the West, he wanted to give some of the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to the Western world before he was able, actually years before he was able to give the actual full biography of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that is Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So around 1968 or so, he produced this book called The Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. We have that book, and it's a very, very wonderful book. All devotees should read that book. And what is that book? There, Srila Prabhupada has selected 5 conversations that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had, which are recounted in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. They're narrated there. 5 conversations. And in that way, Srila Prabhupada was introducing the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Our Gurudev used to question us, do you know what Gauravani is? Because you're always telling that in your pranam mantra to your Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, to your Guru Prabhupada. You're always telling Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharane. Gauravani, what does that mean? It means, literally it means the Vani of Gaura, which means the teachings. The Vani. Vani means instructions, teachings. So the teachings of Gaura. And who is Gaura? That's Lord Chaitanya. Who is Krishna, actually, but now he's coming in golden color, so he's called Gaura or Gauranga. That's why. Because Gaura means golden. Gaura means golden. So, we worship Gaura. We worship Mahaprabhu, who is the combined form of Radha and Krishna, and that's why he's golden. That's also a very significant topic in the Rāmānanda Roy Samvad, because at the very end of the whole conversation, then there was this exchange between Rāmānanda Roy and Mahaprabhu, wherein Rāmānanda Roy became completely overwhelmed when Mahaprabhu showed him his form as what? As Rasaraj, the king of the taster of all rasas, that is Krishna, and Mahabhav, that is Srimati Radhika. When those two combine together in one form, that is Gaura. That is Krishna in golden color. So when Rāmānanda Roy saw this, of course it's much more detailed how that pastime is presented. There is a conversation between them. But when Mahaprabhu revealed this form, then Rāmānanda Roy, he actually had to faint. And who is Rāmānanda Roy? Vishaka. Vishaka has seen all the forms, but this particular form was not especially revealed, and therefore Rāmānanda Roy was overwhelmed. He lost consciousness upon seeing that incredible form. So all of these topics, they are there in Chaitanya Charitamrita, and so Srila Prabhupada wanted that the Western devotees and the people all throughout the world would have some understanding of what the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were. So therefore Srila Prabhupada selected 5 conversations. Okay? Rupa Siksha. That means when Mahaprabhu taught Rupa Goswami on the banks of the where was that again? In Prayag, in Allahabad. Yes, in Prayag. He taught him there for 10 days. The whole science of rasa. So that is how Rupa Goswami was empowered by Mahaprabhu to write Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Ujjvala Nilamani, and all the different books that he wrote, was from those 10 days of instruction from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So then, those 10 days of instruction, then there was the second conversation. Jai Maharaj, welcome back. Haribol, Dandavats, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. So the second conversation was Sri Sanatana Goswami Siksha. Sanatana Goswami Siksha. What does that mean? That means the instructions that Sanatana Goswami, thank you Maharaj. Give a garland to him. Very good. Now both of you should fight to not receive the garland. All right, Haribol, back to the subject. Now, Sanatana Siksha means what? It means Sanatana Goswami received direct instructions from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Directly. There's not that many people who directly received instructions from Mahaprabhu, what to speak of for 2 entire months. 2 months, every single day. So Sanatana Goswami sat with Mahaprabhu, and that was in Varanasi. So, that's the second conversation in Prabhupada's book, Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. So then, the third conversation, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. When Mahaprabhu came first to Jagannath Puri, and gradually, well, right in the beginning actually, he fainted in front of Lord Jagannath in the temple. First time he came. And then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya came and rescued him because the guards were going to beat him. But then he was carried to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house. And then from that point on, now Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya got the association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then he was converted by Mahaprabhu because there was an influence of Mayavad philosophy. Although actually Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was playing outwardly like this, that he was preaching Shankaracharya's impersonalist philosophy. But internally he was Vaishnava. But he became one of the greatest followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And so the instructions that he received from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are given there in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Then the fourth conversation is what? When Mahaprabhu was in Varanasi, then there was a meeting of the sannyasi followers of Shankaracharya who were Mayavadis. And the leader of all of those sannyasis was Prakashananda Saraswati. And he was a very, very great scholar, very learned, and he was the teacher of all these Mayavadi sannyasis. So Mahaprabhu came there, into their assembly. That's a whole discussion, how this came to pass, that he would come into their assembly. But finally he had a discussion with them that what is ultimately the true understanding of all Vedic knowledge. What is ultimately the conclusion of Sri Vedanta Sutra? The conclusion of all the Vedas is Vedanta Sutra. And what is the full, deep understanding of Vedanta Sutra? That is eternal devotion to Krishna. So he gave this instructions there. So that's the fourth conversation. And the final, fifth conversation is this Rāmānanda Roy Samvad. Conversation between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Rāmānanda Roy. So from the very beginning of his preaching in the Western world, Srila Prabhupada wanted that the Western people, the Western devotees, that they would have exposure to this science that was taught by Rāmānanda Roy to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but in fact it was really Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who was inspiring this to appear on the lips of Rāmānanda Roy, and Mahaprabhu took the position of the listener. And there's so many reasons why. Because Mahaprabhu was on a mission as Krishna to taste the deepest moods of Srimati Radhika's prema. So this was, as we just heard, this was one of the favorite subject matters that our Gurudev would speak on. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Rāmānanda Roy Samvad. We're also fortunate to be with him on a few, 2-3 different occasions. Like once in Jagannath Puri during the Purushottam month, he was speaking there daily. Forget where the other one. Anyway, so in this way, the Rāmānanda Roy Samvad, Srila Gurudev is now in Maui, Hawaii on the May 24th of the year 2000. And he talks about the first part of the discussion of Mahaprabhu and Rāmānanda Roy. So we're going to cover this subject matter. So Gurudev, he's telling everyone who was there, May 24th, 2000. Were you there? On 2000 in Maui. Okay. So he says, "Come with me. Let us join Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in our minds as he went from Puri to South India to search for his brother Vishwarup." Actually, this was only a pretext, however. Really, Mahaprabhu wanted to make all of South India and the entire world pure devotees. He wanted them to all chant and to remember Krishna. And he wanted all of South Indian people to be happy forever by chanting and remembering Krishna. So that's the reason why he went to South India. But he told in the beginning, "Oh, I'm going to search for my brother Vishwarup." But he never found him because Vishwarup had gone to the spiritual world. But Mahaprabhu used that as a pretext to go on his journey. Now Gurudev is telling how Mahaprabhu wanted to make the entire world chant the names of Krishna. And then Gurudev says that without chanting, no one can be happy in this world. Without doing what? Without chanting what? Yes. Then what? Maybe is there someone who can be happy without chanting? Maybe someone can be happy without chanting the holy names? Is there a possibility that there can be somebody that is happy without chanting the holy names? Huh?
Krishna Chaitanya, he said Chaitanya Krishna Bhakta, Nishkama, Ateva, Shanta.
No. You're.
Mukti, Siddhi,
Yeah, but what I'm doing.
Nobody, no kind.
Yes, that's true. He's talking, but that's a different subject matter. That's talking about doing Krishna Bhakti. Whereas this point is, without chanting the holy names of Krishna, no one in this material world can be happy. That's the point that is being made here. Huh? But he's talking about this world. So, without chanting, no one can be happy in this world. Can you be happy in this world, Ramani, without chanting? Madhavi, can you be happy in this world without chanting the names of Krishna? No? Can you be happy in this world? No? Can you be happy in this world without chanting? Okay. We're in a room full of devotees. That's good. What about you? Can you be happy, Gauranga, without chanting the names of Krishna?
Can I ask Gurudev a question? Because
A question?
about this. Because some person, they're not chanting, but they meditate, only doing meditation, and they chanting, they happy.
They're doing meditation on what? What are they meditating on?
Just Paramatma. And they happy, satisfied inside.
Where are those people? Have you met them? Where are they? In Russia or where?
Yeah.
And they're meditating on Paramatma? Yeah? How do you know? How do you know they're meditating on Paramatma?
Because they only meditate.
No, but there's millions of different people around the world who are meditating. But what is real meditation?
4 hours every day.
No, but what are they meditating on? What is the object that they're meditating on? Meditation. What is meditation? It's called dhyana. It means deep thought processes, very deep thinking in the subtle body, in your mind. But what are they thinking about?
No, like process of meditation, first you concentrate on this place, and second you observe your body.
No one can be happy.
Only
No.
1 hour, 2 hours, 5 minutes.
Yes.
Material details.
I also have experience when I get meditation 10 hours every day.
Well, why aren't you still doing that? Why are you doing this and becoming a devotee of Krishna then?
Start practicing better because it's
More what?
more high,
More high in what way?
more deep.
Deep in what way?
Well, many ways.
Yes, like what? For example. How is it higher and how is it deeper?
About every topics which we can get.
Yes. Okay. So you just disproved what you said, because you said those people were happy.
Yeah.
But you're one of those people, and you left that to come to Krishna Bhakti. Yes.
But anyway, we spoke what you can't be happy. So I was happy.
No. That's not what Gurudev is telling here. When he says happy, that means forever happy. Never again unhappy. Never unhappy. Okay? That's the meaning. So Gurudev is just introducing this lecture that he's going to give in Hawaii, and he is telling that Mahaprabhu went to South India, really, that he wanted to make all of South India and all the entire world into pure devotees. That's why he went to South India. He wanted them to all chant and remember Krishna and be happy forever. Then he said, without chanting, no one can be happy in this world. No one. Not a karmi, a jnani, a yogi, a tapasvi. No other person can be happy except what? A Krishna bhakta. Why? Because everyone else has material desires. Bhukti mukti siddhi kami sakali ashanta. They're always unpeaceful. They are always unhappy. Whether they are looking for bhog, material enjoyment, mukti, liberation, siddhi, yoga, siddhis, perfections, all of these different categories, they are sakali ashanta. They are not peaceful. Only Krishna bhakti nishkam atayeva shanta. This is the words of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Only a Krishna bhakta A devotee of Krishna is nishkam. He has absolutely no other desires. Because if you have any other desires, guess what? You're going to suffer. You will not be happy. And you will not be peaceful. Because here's the word is being used, shanta and ashanta. That means peaceful and not peaceful. So without peacefulness, shanti, no one can be happy. So therefore, Mahaprabhu has told this instruction that bhukti, mukti, siddhi, kami, these three categories, sakali, ashanta, all of them are ashanta. They are not peaceful. But Krishna Bhakta, nishkam, atayeva shanta. A pure devotee of Krishna, a Krishna Bhakta, is nishkam. He does not have any other desires except to serve Krishna. Anya bilashita shunyam jnana karmadya navritam. Anukulyena Krishna anushilanam bhaktiruttama. So Gurudev is pointing this out to his audience of a few devotees, which included our Sajjan Maharaj, who happened to also wander there after millions of lifetimes, and then he was found himself in front of the pure devotee in Maui, in Hawaii. So Gurudev said, without chanting, no one can be happy in this world. You should know this. Mahaprabhu told everyone who came to him, Jare dako tare koho Krishna upadesh, amar agyai guru hoya tara edesh. Mahaprabhu said, I am telling you. No. Gurudev is telling. That Mahaprabhu, everyone who came to him, he told them this verse, Jare dako tare koho Krishna upadesh. My instructions to you is that whoever you meet, to tell him about Krishna. Krishna Upadesh. Tell him the teachings of Krishna. Amar agyai guru hoya tar e desh. My agyai, my order, my instruction to you is that you should tell everyone about Krishna, and therefore you should take the role of guru, and you should save this world. You should save the jivas in this world. This is the instruction of Mahaprabhu. So Gurudev is saying, I am telling you, and you should also tell anyone that you meet. Chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. What? Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Again, Hare all together. Then, in turn, that person will tell others. So by my order, you should preach this to others. So very soon, all of South India began to chant, and all became Vaishnavas. This was the order of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And in this way, his message very quickly went all over the world. Now Gurudev talks about himself. He says, I have also come here only to tell you how you can be truly happy. How can you be truly happy? Gurudev is saying, I've come here to tell you. Chant Hare Krishna. This is a very easy process to become happy. And I am inviting you all to follow. I'm inviting all of you to follow. And those who are not yet following, they will benefit by following. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he thus went to the sacred river Godavari in South India. And there he thought, oh, here is the Yamuna. Mahaprabhu was experiencing the Yamuna river in that Godavari river. Then Mahaprabhu saw a beautiful forest there. And he thought, oh, this is the very beautiful forest of Vrindavan. And when he saw some rocks and mountains, he thought, oh, you are Giriraj Govardhan. So he was thus absorbed in love and affection for Lord Krishna. He forgot everything external. And he was absorbed in dancing. Sometimes he was rolling on the earth crying, "Oh, my beloved Krishna, where are you? Where are you?" And sometimes he laughed. And sometimes he sang, "Krishna, Krishna, 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 hey. Krishna, 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 hey. Rama, Raghava, Rama, Raghava, Rama, Raghava, Rakshamam. Krishna, Keshava, Krishna, Keshava, Krishna, Keshava, Pahimam." Mahaprabhu himself sang this song. We used to sing it on the streets, along with the Mahamantra. So then Mahaprabhu crossed the Godavari River to take bath. It was morning, and he arrived at a very lonely place near the bathing ghat. So in the meantime, the governor of that area, named Rāmānanda, he came with many associates and thousands of Vedic brahmanas who were reciting Vedic mantras, announcing with a big drum that he was coming. Ramananda Roy took bath there. Then he noticed that a very brilliant, effulgent young sannyasi was nearby, sitting in trance. He was very much attracted, and after taking bath, he left all his attendants, soldiers, and everyone else, and he went alone to the place where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was sitting. There he offered obeisances. Then Mahaprabhu looked at him and he asked, "Are you Rai Rāmānanda?" He said, "Yes, I am that very same wretched person," Rai Rāmānanda replied. And then Mahaprabhu told him that when I was in Jagannath Puri, there was a very learned person, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who was very kind to me. And he told me that if I would be going to South India, then I must meet Rai Rāmānanda. And he said, even though he is a governor, like a viceroy or representative of the king in that area, but he is a greatly learned and a very high-class devotee. So this is what Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya told to Mahaprabhu. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya had also told Mahaprabhu, "At first, I could not believe him," meaning Ramananda Roy. "And I used to joke with him, saying, 'Oh, you are a Vaishnava. Vaishnavas are nothing. They are blind followers.' So I used to joke with him in this way. But then I realized that he is an exalted personality, and I pray that if you are going in that direction, then you must meet him." So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was telling Mahaprabhu, now I understand how exalted really he was, or is. And he's telling Mahaprabhu, you should meet him. And you will see, when you meet him, what a high class of a devotee that he is. And please be merciful to him. Now that is why I have come. Mahaprabhu then told Rai Rāmānanda, only to associate with you I have come. Otherwise there was no reason for me to come here. I want to hear Harikatha from you. Then Rai Rāmānanda replied, because you have come here, I know that Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is my well-wisher. He has sent you. You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is so kind to send you to me. Ramananda Roy is telling this to Mahaprabhu. So I beg you to stay here for 6 or 7 days, not only for 1 or 2 days. Be merciful. Please sprinkle your mercy upon me. So in this way, they glorified each other. And this is the etiquette of Vaishnava devotees. What is the etiquette of Vaishnava devotees? To glorify each other. But Gurudev is saying, nowadays, you have forgotten this etiquette. And that is why you are all falling down. We should try to honor each other. We should honor all devotees. Those who are not pure devotees will simply tell each other about their mundane problems. That's what they'll talk to. That they're not pure devotees. So they will tell like this. Oh, my husband has left me. Oh, my wife has left me. Oh, should I marry or not? This is a very big problem. Oh, I am unsuccessful in what I began. Oh, I am in the process of divorce. Oh, my business has stopped. So what should I do? This is what they will talk about. So Gurudev says, we speak only about these problems. This is what we speak about. This is not Vaishnava etiquette. A Vaishnava has no problem at all. He is always happy. And he can make even hippies happy. Gurudev had to say that, of course. This is the year 2000. And Gurudev was really enjoying this particular statement that our Srila Prabhupada made hippies into happies. So he couldn't pass by the opportunity. And he said, a Vaishnava has no problem at all. He is always happy, and he can make even hippies happy. I remember that Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj made thousands upon thousands of hippies happy. He changed them. And they became devotees. They became really happy. So, while Mahaprabhu was speaking with Rāmānanda, a Brahmana came and invited Mahaprabhu to his house to take lunch prasadam. And he was a real Brahmana and Vaishnava. And Mahaprabhu, therefore, he wanted to go there and take prasad. So he requested Rāmānanda, you must certainly meet me in the evening. Now both of them, Mahaprabhu and Rāmānanda Roy, they waited in anticipation of their evening meeting. Rāmānanda Roy, he changed his royal garments. He put on only a very simple dhoti. And then he arrived with only one associate. He had no royal umbrella, no palanquin, no bodyguard. Alone, he offered prostrated obeisances to Mahaprabhu. Then they sat together for the whole night. And then for so many days. And their Krishna Katha continued in a regulated way from evening to morning, with no sleep and no interruptions. Now Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he told Rāmānanda Roy, I know that you are a very high-class devotee. You are so learned. You know all the scriptures and you are a master of Srimad Bhagavatam. So I will therefore ask you some questions. And I request that you reply by giving examples from those scriptures. I will not give your replies any importance if you do not give evidence from the scriptures. So, this is what Mahaprabhu told Rāmānanda Roy at the beginning of their conversation. And Gurudev is expanding on this. He said that we should always know what constitutes real evidence. So many persons tell so many things, but this is not evidence. Evidence comes from the Vedas and the Upanishads. and also from the words of any high-class devotee who has none of the 4 defects. What are the 4 defects? Can you remember the Sanskrit? Brahm, Pramad, Vipralipsa, Karanapatava. What's the first one? Brahm. No. No. That's not the first one. Brahm means the tendency to commit mistakes. The second one is called Pramad. That means the tendency to be illusioned. What is the third one? Vipralipsa, the tendency to cheat. And the fourth one, Karanapatava, means that your senses are imperfect. So, anyone who is a high-class Vaishnava, Gurudev is saying, he doesn't have any of these 4 defects. So his words can be taken as evidence. And in addition, the Shastras, which are in accordance with the Vedas, like Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, or the books of the 6 Goswamis, or the 4 Acharyas of the 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas, they're all evidence. But the strongest and the purest evidence, however, is what? What's the strongest and the purest evidence? Huh? The words of what? Pure devotees. He already mentioned that. He mentioned these different books. But the strongest and the purest evidence amongst all of that is the words of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srimad Mahaprabhu told Rāmānanda that if you offer evidence from the Vedas, from the Upanishads and the Bhagavatam, then I will surely accept. Now, Mahaprabhu's first question to Rāmānanda Roy was, what is his first question?
What is the highest goal? What is the second?
Yes. His first question was, what is sadhya? What does sadhya mean? It means the goal of life. Yes. And then what is the sadhana? That means the method or the means by which you can attain that goal. You know, when Srila Prabhupada was living still in India, before he went to the West, and he was in Radha Damodar temple, maybe even before that, I don't know exactly when he wrote, but he actually wrote a book. And he titled that book, In Search of the Ultimate Goal of Life. Now that book was not brought by him to the West. It remained as a manuscript inside of his trunks at Radha Damodar temple. And years later, after Prabhupada had started the whole movement and gone back to India with his disciples and so forth, so I don't know exactly what year it was, but our Nrsimha Maharaj, who was previously Jagat Guru Swami, I think it's him that actually discovered that in the trunks. And he found this manuscript. And wow, a whole book. Prabhupada wrote a whole book on this chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita, the conversation of Rāmānanda Roy and Swarup Damodar Goswami. So then this was, I'm pretty sure it was after Prabhupada had left the planet, but I'm not 100% sure. At any rate, it got printed finally. It got printed after Srila Prabhupada left this world, and I think even quite many years later, then it was printed. So that book exists. I have it in my room in Vrindavan. in search of the ultimate goal of life. So that's describing what Mahaprabhu is now doing with Rāmānanda Roy. In the very beginning of their conversation, he told him, I want to hear answers to my questions, and I want that your answers will all contain the highest evidence. And the highest evidence is especially from the Srimad Bhagavatam. So he asked him the question that, what is the ultimate sadhya, the ultimate goal of life? What is it? And what is the sadhana? What is the means to attain that goal? So in the morning class, Gurudev said that I told you, to all the devotees, I told you that all the living entities, they have come out from the glance of Karana Dakashai Vishnu. They cannot be created. Why? Because they are eternal. The living entities cannot be created. Do you know that? They cannot be created. Why? Because creating something means that it's not existing and now you created it. You made it exist. But the living entities cannot be created. Why? Because they're eternal. So they cannot be created. They've always existed. But they are coming from what? Listen to this carefully. 4 different important Siddhantic points. These living entities have come out from the glance of Karana Dakashai Vishnu. Who's that? Mahavishnu. Karana Dakashai Vishnu is Mahavishnu. They have come out from the glance of Karana Dakashai Vishnu. They cannot be created, for they are eternal, but they are coming from the light, from the sight of Karana Dakashai Vishnu. You should know what that light is. What is that glance, that light of, like a beam of light coming from Karana Dakashai Vishnu? You should know what that light is. Here it is. It is the dim reflection of that light. It is a combination of the semblance of Chit Shakti. Semblance of Chit Shakti. Not directly Chit Shakti. It is a combination of the semblance of Chit Shakti and the semblance of the Tatastha, or the marginal energy, Tatastha Shakti, plus Vibhinamsha Tattva, plus Maya Shakti. That is all in that glance of Mahavishnu. Vibhinamsha means the living entities who are all individual, but they are separate from Krishna. They are separate from Vishnu. They cannot be called Vishnu Tattva, but they are Vibhinamsha. That means that they are different. Vibhinna means to be different, and amsha means particle. So they are a differentiated particle of the Absolute Truth. And also within that glance is Maya Shakti. Okay, so the mixture of these 4, this is called Shambhu Linga. Who is Shambhu? Lord Shiva. This is called Shambhu Linga. It is from there, it is from that semblance that the jivas are coming. Shambhu Linga is a semblance of Sadashiv Tattva, a form of Vishnu Tattva. That is what Shambhu Linga is. It's a semblance of Sadashiv Tattva, which is what? A form of Vishnu Tattva. The Sadashiv is not mixed with material energy. Sadashiv. He's pure Vishnu Tattva. That's why we on Shivratri, then Gurudev would perform Ekadasi because Vishnu Tattva. But in other temples, they're not doing. They're taking grains, they're doing this, that. But Gurudev would perform because he considers that Shiva Ratri, the appearance day of Lord Shiva, is actually referring to this form of Shiva, which is the origin, Sadashiv. And Sadashiv directly has come from the body of Krishna. And he is Vishnu Tattva. So, that Shambhulinga is a semblance of Sadashiv Tattva, and Maya, or the deluding material energy, it must also be present. Why? Because without Maya there can be no creation at all. So the Maya Shakti also has to be present there. And all this mixing together, it becomes Shambhu Tattva or Shambhu Linga, and by this the creation comes. Now the creation of what? Gurudev is asking. Creation of what? This gross material body? This subtle material body? The soul is not created, but these two, the gross and subtle material bodies, are created. So we should know all these truths, that the living entities are not created, but rather they are an eternal potency. It is not possible to give more explanation than this at this time. So we will have to realize all this by chanting Hari Nam. So when your chanting of the holy name becomes pure, when the holy name that you chant, when it is actually the name of God Himself, and it is not Nam Aparad, an offense to the holy name, or it is not Nam Abbas, a semblance of the name, when that name becomes transcendental, then you will realize all truths. So by mental exercise, you will never be able to realize anything. Not by mental speculation. You can realize anything. What can you realize through? Chanting the pure name of Krishna only. Then all realization will come. So he says, Gurudev says that Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, your Prabhupada, he came to tell you that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's what he came to tell you. And he told. But he told me to tell you that now you should try to forget that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And now that time has come. He wants me to tell you that you should now think of Krishna as a bosom friend, or as a beloved, or a son, but you must always think that Krishna is your everything. So in this way, our bhakti, our devotion to Him should increase. So what is Gurudev telling? He's saying that Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj wanted me to tell you how to come onto this pathway of spontaneous affection and love for Krishna in the wake of the mood of the eternal associates, the Ragatmika Jana, the eternal associates of Krishna. They all love Krishna in their own particular rasa. And that's the message of this whole Rāmānanda Samvad. Because all of the suggestions that were made about what is the ultimate goal, sadhya, Rāmānanda Roy kept on telling, one by one by one. But Mahaprabhu, he was not rejecting them, but he was saying that this is external. This is not the actual. Now you should go further. This is Bahya. Bahya means external. Age kohoar, continue to speak more. So in this way, Mahaprabhu was prodding Rāmānanda Roy to start at Varnashram Dharma, being the ultimate goal, the sadhya, as well as the sadhana. So from there was about 8 different recommendations, 7 or 8, by Rāmānanda Roy to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And each time Mahaprabhu said that is external. Even Sarva Dharman Parityaja, even that he told this is external. But when he came to Jnane Prayasam Udapasya, I'm just skipping over some of this. When he came to that shloka, which is talking about giving up your attempt to understand him through Jnana, Jnane Prayas, your effort to try to know him, the Supreme Absolute Truth. Udapasya namantameva. Give that up and surrender. And then, Jivanti sanmukaritam bhavadiyo vartam. Live in the association of the pure devotees, sanmukaritam. And from their lotus mouth, continue to hear and hear and hear about him. And if someone does this, following this from the core of his heart, then Jai Prayaso Jita Jitopi Asi Taishtri Lokyam, that he will conquer over the unconquerable Krishna by this process of learning to love him. So then when Mahaprabhu heard that, he said, eho hoy. That means, yes, this is good. Now develop this further. So in this way, this whole conversation, Rāmānanda Roy Samvad, Gurudev is going to speak. This is like his introduction to it. So Gurudev is saying that Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj told me to come and tell you now. Now the time has come for you to hear this. In the beginning, he couldn't tell you this. He had to tell you that you should learn and understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But now he told me to come and tell you that now you should try to forget this. And you should learn to love Krishna in one relationship with him. Whether it be Sakya Ras or Vatsalya Ras or Madhurya Ras, but in one of these rasas, learn to love him. That is called Raga Nuga Bhakti. So now Gurudev says, now we come again to our subject. Can you read Mahaprabhu's first question to Rāmānanda Roy according to Srila Swami Maharaj's translation? And then devotee takes the book and reads. He says, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered Rāmānanda Roy to recite a verse from the scriptures concerning sadhya, the ultimate goal of life. So then Gurudev says, I am explaining what Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, your Gurudev, has explained. I am explaining that. I am not in a different line from him. I follow him. So what did Roy Rāmānanda reply? He explained that sadhya, the goal. He did not merely explain sadhana, the means to attain the goal. So now it says here, Sri Padmanabha Maharaj was asked by Gurudev to explain this somewhat. So then Mahaprabhu asked Rāmānanda Roy about the goal of life. This is Madhava Maharaj speaking. He did not first ask about sadhana or the means. He wanted to establish the goal first. Then Rāmānanda Roy replied, you know this verse? Varnashram acharavata purushena parakpuman Vishnur aradyate panta nanyat tato shakaranam. So this is quoted in that chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita. So what is the meaning of this verse? The meaning is that it is imperative, it is necessary to follow Varnashram Dharma. There are 4 Varnas and there are 4 Ashramas. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Sudra. They are the 4 Varnas, or the 4 occupational duties. And the 4 ashramas, or the spiritual orders, are the brahmacharis, grihastas, vanaprasthas, and sannyasis. So you may be in any varna or in any ashrama, but it is essential to maintain varnashram dharma. In this way you can please Vishnu and there is no other means. So, in Hawaii, I don't remember what year, but on a morning walk there, on the Big Island, Gurudev said, when he stopped, as he's walking, then he stops, and then everybody makes a circle around him. So he points to one devotee. Do you know? Are you in Varnashram Dharma? And the devotee was caught off guard, and no, Gurudev, we're not. No, you are in Varnashram Dharma. He goes to the next. Are you in Varnashram Dharma? And then that devotee tried to make some adjustment. That we are in it, but this, but that, like this. So finally then Gurudev said, no, you must be in Varnashram Dharma. In this world you must be in this. But then he explained, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he also preached Varnashram Dharma by showing the example in his mutts how to live in the what? Ashram Dharma. How to be a brahmachari, how to be a grihastha, vanaprastha and sannyasi. How to live that way as a Vaishnava. Because in regular Varnashram Dharma, they're not necessarily Vaishnavas, but they're following according to the ashramas. So what is this called? Srila Gurudev said, this is called Daivi Varnashram. It's not the regular Varnashram that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati introduced. He introduced Daivi Varnashram Dharma. So we're not going to go into a long discussion about this. Gurudev is just mentioning it like this. He says that you may be in any varna or you may be in any ashram, but it is essential to maintain Varnashram Dharma. So in this way you can please Vishnu and there is no other means. So then hearing this answer, Mahaprabhu said that Varnashram is external. Why? Why did Mahaprabhu not accept it as the goal of life? This is because there is no explanation about the soul. Varnashram Dharma is required only to maintain our social system. So in Srimad Bhagavatam it is stated, Savai Pungsang Paro Dharma, that the best religion for the soul is uninterrupted and one-pointed devotion to Vishnu. So by this, the soul and the super soul will both be pleased. But here, in the case of Varnashram, there is no proof that the soul and the super soul will be pleased. It is like karma mishra bhakti, like bhakti mixed with the desire to enjoy the results of fruitive activities. It is not swarup siddha bhakti, the activities that are constituted purely of bhakti, such as hearing, chanting, remembering Krishna. So therefore, Mahaprabhu said it is external. It is not pure bhakti. And he therefore rejected it as the pure goal. Now Rāmānanda Roy is going ahead. Now we shall hear from Srila Gurudev. This was all told by Madhav Maharaj. So in this Varnashram Dharma, it is recommended that one worships Vishnu. What is our object? The process is worship of Vishnu. But what is the aim of that worship? We want to be happy in this world. That is the aim. And most persons' conception is that Vishnu will give a boon so that we will be happy. That's most persons. And above this is salvation, mukti, freedom from attachment, and merging with Vishnu. This is people's conception of God's boon, but actually this is like a curse. It is not a boon. Neither should we try to merge with Krishna, nor should we try to do anything for becoming happy by sense gratification in this world, which is temporary. In this country, America, there is an itching disease which is called eczema. Is that how you pronounce it? Eczema. Eczema. So in this condition, we scratch, and this scratching seems to be very pleasant, but it is a disease after all, and after some time it will become very painful. This world is such. Worldly life is like an itch, like a disease. So by worshipping Lord Vishnu, we can give this up and we can become happy for some time. But again, that itch will come. So similarly, Varnashram Dharma, it is external. There is no service of the soul, only external service for the body. Now Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, they have tried to establish this Varnashram Dharma. Why? Because by following it, we will at least be human beings. You want to be a human being? Then you have to follow Varnashram Dharma. Otherwise, we are animals. So first, we should be human, because humanity is a platform for bhakti. So first, we should make a platform, and then we can hear Hari Katha. So in order to make gradual spiritual advancement, the Varnashram is somewhat favorable, but not fully. So therefore Mahaprabhu is telling Rāmānanda Roy to go further. So is there any doubt in this? Our aim is not to follow Varnashram Dharma. Srila Swami Maharaj told his disciples to create Varnashram Dharma in this Gita Nagari, New Vrindavan, New Mayapur, so many other places. He wanted to establish this, but only as a platform. Where are most of these projects now? They're gone. Now there is mostly barren land, and that barren land is weeping. Nothing substantial is there. Now Shamarani Dasi comments, or Gurudev told her to read, whatever. Srila Roy Rāmānanda quoted Bhagavad Gita. All that you do, all that you give away, and all that you offer in sacrifice, it should be done for me. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also rejected this proposal to be the goal, considering it to be external. Because everything that we do is for what? Our own satisfaction. Yes. So whatever activity I do in this world, it has a karmic reaction. Even if it is a pious action, I get a pious reaction. And I still have to suffer in this world. If I give someone a lot of money, then in my next life I'll be rich. However, in that next life, I still have to take birth in a womb. I still have to accept old age, disease, and death. So the motive is my own personal sense gratification. So Mahaprabhu rejected this as not being the perfection. He again told Rāmānanda Roy to go further, and Roy Rāmānanda then offered the conclusion of the Bhagavad Gita. What is that? Sarvadharman parityajya. Give up all varieties of so-called religious activities and surrender everything to me, and in return I will free you from all fear and from all sinful reactions. Now Mahaprabhu rejected this as the goal. It is better than animal life. It is better than having nothing to do with Krishna. So why did Lord Chaitanya reject it? Again, it was external, because it was related to the body. I want Krishna to free me from fear. So I have a personal motivation. I'm not trying to please Krishna, but I want Krishna's protection for my body and for my mental and intellectual comfort. So this is like a business proposition. If I do something for Krishna, then he will do something for me. So therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected it as not being the goal. Real devotion means that there is no material cause and there is no material interruption. So now Gurudev speaks. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, there are so many examples of this. One example is the story of King Harishchandra. You know that story? Harishchandra? He was a very powerful Kshatriya king in the Varnashram Dharma. And he used to worship Lord Vishnu. He was also very truthful. He never told a lie. He never accepted any untruth. And he was very generous to all creatures. So one day, a great high-class surrendered devotee named Vishvamitra, he came in a dream to Harishchandra. And then he told him in that dream, he says, you are very generous and you are a very truthful speaker. You are a very good king. You always worship Vishnu. So I know that if I ask anything from you, you will definitely give it. So I want something from you. Now in the dream, Vishvamitra told the king that he wanted his whole kingdom. And the king said, yes, I am giving it to you. In the dream. Now after that dream was over, the king forgot all about it. But in the morning, Vishvamitra himself came to Harishchandra and asked him if he remembered the previous night's dream. Harishchandra said, I don't remember anything. What was that? Oh, you asked for my kingdom and I gave it to you. Then Vishvamitra said, so you should give it to me. Then Harishchandra replied, but that was in a dream. So then Vishvamitra said, actually it was not a dream. I really came to you. So Harishchandra knew the mystic abilities of the powerful sages, so he believed him. So then he said, yes, I take a vow that I am giving you the kingdom. This whole kingdom is now yours. Then Vishvamitra told him to give some dakshin, some donation of money. So in India, if one donates anything, then he gives some coins as well to consummate the donation. And therefore Vishvamitra asked him to give him some dakshin. Now Harishchandra called his treasurer and told him to give 10,000 gold coins to Vishvamitra. Vishvamitra smiled and told him, you are a liar. You gave me your entire kingdom, and now your treasury is mine also. So how can you tell the treasurer to give gold to me? It is already mine. So Harishchandra agreed, and therefore he wanted to take a loan from someone in the kingdom. But Vishvamitra said, now all the citizens are also mine, and you may not take a loan from anyone in my kingdom. Next, Harishchandra decided to sell himself. But Vishvamitra said, in my kingdom you cannot sell even yourself. So the king then became perplexed about what to do, and thinking that he had done wrong. So he asked Vishvamitra, what should I do? Please give me some suggestions. Then Vishvamitra told him, go to Kashi, which is situated on the trident of Shankar. It is not in this world. There you can sell yourself, and then you can pay me. But you must always remember that you have to pay me. Now Harishchandra went to Kashi with his wife and his son on foot, because all his chariots and everything else now belonged to Vishvamitra. And after many days he reached Kashi, and he began calling out to the people that they could purchase him. A low-class person, the guard of the cremation grounds, told him that he would buy him and that he would have to do duty at the cremation grounds. So Harishchandra accepted this because there was no one else to purchase him. But the guard gave only 5,000 golden coins. He needed more. And therefore he sold his wife, Sadhya, and his son Rohitasya. A very cruel Brahmana gave 5,000 coins, and he took them both. So if you sell a cow, then you are no longer its owner. So similarly, now Harishchandra was not the king, nor was he the husband of his wife, nor was he any longer the father of his child. He had some false ego, however, considering that he used to be, or he still was, a king, and that he was still the husband of Sadhya and the father of Rohitasya. So, what happened next? After a while, it happened that a snake came and bit his son, and the son died. It was midnight during the rainy season. Very cold winds were blowing, very heavy rain was falling. The Brahmin told Sadhya, "Take this dead body away from here. I cannot allow you to remain here with this dead body. I have no pity on you." Then taking her child's body in her arms and weeping, she went to the cremation ground. At that time, Harishchandra was the guard of that impure place. And in the darkness, he couldn't recognize his wife or his son. So he asked discompassionately, "Who is here weeping? First you must give the tax for cremation, and then you can use this facility." Now at that moment, lightning flashed in the sky. And he could see that the woman before him was indeed Sadhya. So he was bewildered, not knowing if he should identify himself as her husband, now that he had already sold her and also sold her son. Or that he should identify himself as the father of the dead boy, or he should identify himself as king, or that he should identify himself as the crematorium guard. So just then, Vishwamitra appeared with Yamaraj, who is Dharmaraj. And Lord Narayan also came, and they brought Harishchandra's son back to life, and they told him to take any boon. Then Vishwamitra told him that in his life as a king, he had been misguided by illusion. He said, "In this world, no one can speak the truth. Your name is not Harishchandra." Vishwamitra is telling him this. "Your name is not Harishchandra. This is the name of your gross body. And what is this body made of? It is merely a combination of blood, flesh, stool, urine. You don't know that your soul is the eternal servant of Lord Krishna. If you are thinking, I am the father, I am the husband, king, etc., how are you speaking the truth? You should know that you are part and parcel of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You are not part of this world. So forget all these false conceptions. Try to serve Krishna and chant his names." Now Harishchandra accepted all this, but he had one request. "Please don't give such a hard test to the jivas in the Kali Yuga. They will never be able to pass your test. They will always fail." So Harishchandra was doing what we want to do. What is that? Varnashram Dharma. And he was following and worshipping Lord Vishnu more seriously than we can. But he did not have any idea that we are transcendental or that we are eternal servants of Krishna. This is our main problem. If you are thinking that I am the doer, or even thinking that I am giving something to Krishna, this is not pure bhakti. That is why it has been said in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhya Mokshishyami Ma Shucha. What is the meaning of this shloka? Gurudev is asking. Then Sri Padmanabha Maharaj answers that Rāmānanda Roy is now giving the suggestion from Bhagavad Gita wherein Krishna has instructed Arjuna that Arjuna give up all temporary dharma and all activities and conceptions which are in relationship to the temporary material body and mind. Surrender yourself and take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and by doing so, you will be freed from all sinful reactions. Do not be afraid. Now, this seems to be a very transcendental and excellent suggestion. But upon hearing this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave the response, "Oh my dear Rāmānanda Roy, this is external. I also reject this. Tell me something more." Then, the eternal occupation of the soul is to render loving service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead in a relationship with Him. Sharanagati, surrender, is mainly the rejection of things which are temporary and they are unfavorable for spiritual development. So in Sharanagati, we have not yet realized our relationship with the Supreme Lord, with possessiveness and with love and affection, mood of mamata. So therefore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also rejected this conception as being the goal of life. Now, in and of itself, surrender to the Supreme Lord, it is not directly bhakti. It is not the positive, and it is not the eternal, perfect activity of the soul to surrender. No. If you want to enter any building, first you have to come to a door. You cannot walk through the wall. So if anyone is hearing, chanting, remembering, and serving Krishna, but they have not first surrendered themselves completely, saying, "Oh Krishna, I am yours, I depend fully on you, I accept everything which is favorable for bhakti, I reject all things which are unfavorable. You, Krishna, are my protector, you are my maintainer, I will always be meek and humble, and I will have no interest separate from your interest." So if someone is doing this and saying to Krishna like this, then his activities will not be called pure devotional service unless he has surrendered himself in this way, the 6 limbs of surrender. Then his activities can start to be called bhakti. Unless one has accepted these 6 limbs of Sharanagati before he renders his devotional service, then his service will be an imitation like a drama. The first thing is surrender. This surrender is not bhakti, but it is the prerequisite to enter the bhakti realm. So now Srila Gurudev, he says, "I have heard a story about Jesus Christ, that once there were many persons assembled, and they were taking stones in their hands. They wanted to kill a guilty person. This person had a very bad character. He had been attracted to a lady, he caught hold of her, and he did some bad things. So many persons were assembled. They wanted to kill him with the stones. Now at that moment, Jesus Christ came there and he told them all, "You listen to me first. I want you to kill this person with your stones. I also have a stone. So we will all throw these stones at him together and kill him. But first you hear me. Only those of you who are not guilty of the same crime, you are allowed to stone him. Whoever is personally guilty of any bad activities, whoever has done as this person has done, he may not do so. He may not throw the stones." Then all of those people stopped. No one there was pure in heart and free from the guilt of the same crime. So although we see some mercy in this instance, we should try to know that this mercy is not real mercy. The Supreme Personality has created all creatures, the trees, insects, fish, cows, and every other living being. So in every body, there is a soul. It is a misconception to think that the soul is only in the human body, and we should therefore only serve the human race. Then Gurudev mentions Florence Nightingale and Mother Teresa. And he says, what were Florence Nightingale and Mother Teresa doing? They were serving all the diseased and all the poor people, even those with leprosy. However, they gave to those people beef, meat, fish, and wine. And they thought that there was no harm in that. They did not know that fish also have life, cows also have life, all others have life, just like human beings. We are not authorized to kill any living being in any species of life, because they are all the sons and the daughters of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who never wants them to be killed. The cow is like a mother. She gives milk without considering caste and creed. She gives milk to everyone, whether such persons are Mohammedan, Indian, American, or anyone else. We can therefore think of her as a mother who gives her breast milk. So if one takes a new calf and kills him for meat, then what is this? Is this mercy? I went to Vatican City and I became happy to see a great monument there. There were hundreds of thousands of pilgrims there. They were all paying their respects. And I also wanted to pay respects to Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus Christ, how glorious you are. But then, seeing some very beautiful and soft calves of only 2 or 3 days old, I asked, why are there so many calves here? You don't know? They told to Gurudev, the devotees, you don't know? The Pope will take their flesh today. He will invite so many of his friends and they will eat all of them. I then began to hate that land, Gurudev says. And I said, I should not spend another moment here. I should go away. These people are cruel as butchers. They have no pity or mercy upon these cows and calves, nor upon anyone else. And what are eggs? If you want to take eggs, you can take an egg from your mother's womb. That is also a kind of egg. So we should not take all these things. Rather, we should know that the soul is everywhere, not only in the human body. So therefore, service only to humankind is not service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is essential to know this. Therefore, Mahaprabhu rejected the consideration of Sarva Dharman Parityajya as the goal, and what to speak of all these other things. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Paul. Now, of course, there were a lot of new people there in that assembly, and that's why Gurudev was mentioning about Harish Chandra and about all of that. So, in this way, Sri Rāmānanda Roy spoke to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all of these transcendental topics. And it is very, very sublime to read them consecutively, and especially once Mahaprabhu was appreciating how Rāmānanda Roy was saying, oh, Sakya Rasa is very good. And Mahaprabhu wanted to hear. And he said, Vatsalya Rasa, very good. Mahaprabhu wanted to hear. In this way, he wanted to hear about all the rasas. But then in Madhurya Ras, now he really wanted to hear about this topic. But then in Madhurya Ras, wanting to hear about this topic, then he really wanted to hear about the topmost Madhurya Ras, which is found only in Srimati Radharani. Then Mahaprabhu became very, very happy, and then the discussion started in that direction. So this was one of the favorite presentations that Gurudev loved to hear and to recite, is this Rāya Rāmānanda Samvad. So at the end of this conversation, I'm just reading briefly, because in the katha that was given by Srila Bhaktivigyan Bharati Maharaj, he went through, but in a very quick way also. But he came to the end of that conversation, so I didn't want to close this class until we hear that. Now, in the end, Rāmānanda Roy said to Mahaprabhu, Pahile dekilun tomar sannyasi swarup, ebe toma deke mui shyam gopa rup. This is the 268th verse of this chapter, Madhya Lila 8. Rāmānanda Roy then told Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he says, at first I saw you appear like a sannyasi, but now I am seeing you as Shyama Sundar, the cowherd boy. You are Krishna, but you appear like a Kanchana Panchalika. That means a golden doll. Kanchana Panchalika. And you are covered by the Anga Kanti. You are covered by the bodily luster of Radharani. Now, Rāmānanda Roy beseeched Mahaprabhu and he said, if you have come to rectify me, then what can be achieved in such a short time? Please stay for a little longer. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu responded, O Rāmānanda, as long as I live, I would like to have your association, so please come to Puri. And when Rāmānanda Roy asked Maharaj Prataparudra to relieve him of his duties, citing that Mahaprabhu's request was the reason, then Maharaj Prataparuja not only instantly relieved him, but he also continued to pay him the same salary. And quickly, Rāmānanda Roy settled all the matters of the state and he moved to Jagannath Puri. Maharaj Prataparuja was also a great devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now, when the eternal associates of the Lord, when they appear in this world, they are oblivious of their eternal identity. They don't know. This is just to facilitate the Lord's pastimes, otherwise the essence would be lost. So by Yoga Maya, they don't know their own identities. So Rāmānanda Roy is actually Vishaka Saki in Vraj Leela. And in Puri, Rāmānanda Roy used to teach the gestures and expressions. It's called Hava Bhava. He used to teach different gestures and expressions to some Devi Dasis in order that they can enact the Jagannath Ballabha Nataka play which he himself had composed. Now in this genre, the actors don't speak, instead they portray the script via the medium of facial expressions and bodily movements. Now this is called Odissi dance. So in Gita Govinda, the story of the Lord taking the form of Nrsingadev, killing Hiranyakashipu and other pastimes, they have been depicted in this way. So in the beginning, one finds it difficult to grasp, but upon being exposed to it twice or thrice, something can be understood from these movements. So Rāmānanda Roy, he used to teach the Deva Dasis how to enact the play. And there was a person who named Pradyumna Mishra. He was the chief cook of Lord Jagannath. And he went to Chaitanya Dev with the desire to hear Harikatha. But Chaitanya Dev said, I don't know anything. Rāmānanda Roy knows. So when Pradyumna Mishra went to see Rāmānanda Roy, he heard that he was decorating and massaging the Devi Dasis. This shook his faith in Rāmānanda Roy. So when he went back to Chaitanya Dev, then Mahaprabhu said, Eka Rāmānanda hoy e adhikar, tate jani aprakrita deha tahar. He said the authority for such acts is the prerogative of Rāmānanda Roy alone. For I can understand that his body is not material, but has become completely transformed into a spiritual entity. Now, making Rāmānanda Roy an instrument, Mahaprabhu gave the lesson that only one who has Hari Bhakti can be a guru. Just by being a Brahmin or a Mishra, this is not enough. So this lesson he taught us through Rāmānanda Roy, who was not a Brahmin. So we don't have the qualification to act like this. So today is Rāmānanda Roy's disappearance day. So we will pray for his mercy. If he is merciful, we can get the fortune of entering into the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Dev. So, just mentioning again, I mentioned in the beginning of the class that these two personalities who were always with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for all of his final years in Puri, Rāmānanda Roy and Swarup Damodar Goswami, they're actually Lalita Devi and Vishaka Devi, who have come to coach Krishna in the form of Gauranga, and how to help him to navigate in this ocean of tasting and experiencing Srimati Radharani's ultimate topmost Mahabhav Prem of the highest order. That was their purpose and their role. So they were always by his side. If you read the Antya Leela, especially the last 5 chapters, you will hear how Rāmānanda Roy and Swarup Damodar were always with Mahaprabhu in the Gambhira, and Mahaprabhu was hearing each of them chanting different verses and different beautiful songs to augment all of his feelings, all of his ecstatic moods that were outpouring like waves, like tidal waves. They're just outpouring from Mahaprabhu. And so, by the assistance of Swarup Damodar and Rāmānanda Roy, they helped Mahaprabhu by quoting appropriate verses to augment his moods that he was experiencing. And in this way, they were like captains of the ship, steering the ship through this ocean of Radha Prem. So, how exalted is Rāmānanda Roy, even though he just appeared to be an ordinary politician in one of the states that were in the kingdom of Orissa. But in actuality, he was the topmost Vaishnava, and that's why Mahaprabhu said, "I want to always be with you." And therefore, it was arranged that he and Swarup Damodar Goswami would always be with Mahaprabhu. So in our Jayadvani every day, we say the names of the 6 Goswamis: Shri Rup Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath, Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath Shad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. And then we say Jai Swarup Damodar Roy Rāmānandadi Gaur Parshada Vrinda Ki Jai. We say the names of Swarup Damodar, Rāmānanda Roy, and all of the Parshadas, all of the associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who descended from the spiritual world to assist Mahaprabhu in his pastimes. So this is a very, very sacred day that we are so fortunate to be here in Sri Navadvip Dham, remembering, hearing and chanting about these topics, hearing from the lotus mouth of our Gurudev, from the lotus mouth of Srila Bhaktivigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj. And we could actually go on with this topic for the next few weeks, but we're not going to do that. We're sticking to our topic of completing the Bhakti Tattva Viveka and moving on to the Manasiksha of Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. So we're finishing class here today. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Jai Shri Rāmānanda Roy Ki Jai. Transcendental Disappearance Day of Shri Roy Rāmānanda Ki Jai. Vishaka Avatar Rāmānanda Roy Ki Jai. Shri Roy Rāmānanda Samvada Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande. Yeah, if we read Prabhupada's book, In Search of the Ultimate Goal of Life, and we read Srila Gurudev's book, Rāmānanda Roy Samvad, which was taken from many of the lectures that he gave, that also will submerge us into all this ocean of nectar. And then what to speak of reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, that chapter itself. So these will all be very helpful for us. Any comments or questions? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Vancha kalpatarubhascha kripa sindhubheva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Vrindai Tulsi Debai Priyai Keshavasya cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Sachavachai namo namaha.